Hello again, everyone. We are Gaming by Gaslight, and welcome back to Sunless Skies. When we last left off, we were working on... what were we working on, actually? We were trying to complete some quests. We had been to Hybris, and now we're looking for the Incredible Carnival, if I recall correctly. Let's, yes, on the trail of the vanished colonists. Yes, the Pernickety Factor has suggested consulting at Palmer and Plenty's Inconceivable Circus. Yes, so we're trying to do that. Eventually, we're going to want to come back to Mademoiselle Lumier's here in New Winchester in order to, conclude her story. And by conclude, I mean continue. There may indeed be several more parts to it, but we're also, we're looking for more guns to give to Sweet Jane's counting house. We need to get ourselves a couple of hours, yes, for the nature reserve, and we also need some fine and upstanding literature for said circus. So hopefully we can find some of that. We also need free, free seeds to deliver at the Nowhere Inn as soon as possible. Alright. Now, I'm assuming that since we bought it the stock at Hybris, there might not be any more seeds there, but I believe there were some at Magdalen, or maybe they were at Port Prosper. I'm not sure. So let's go straight north, see if we can't run into anything new and exciting along the way. And as usual, I'll kind of cut away most of the transit here. I mean, I feel kind of bad about that on the one hand, because it does kind of affect the atmosphere a little bit, just the traveling between the stars. But at the same time, if we don't run into anything, I don't want an episode where basically we're doing nothing but transit. The real excitement usually comes in when we arrive at a destination, but sometimes it is out here in space. But also, we have to level up before we move any further here. So, level 4. Yes. Let's see. Well, we could use more mirrors and a little bit of deception, but then again, a little bit more deception and some more... Actually, is there anything that gives us mirrors and veils? Just this. But it's not like our major thing. I mean, it's probably a mistake trying to, balance these things out. We should ideally aim to specialize in a handful of skills. But I kind of like being a jack of all trades, even if it means that I can't be a master of everything. Well, let's go with this for now. You spent your youth in stuffy sitting rooms and chandeliered parlors. Hush, and you can still hear the delicate sound of silver spoons on china cups. You were not ungrateful, but your life was hedged by bounds of civility and expectation. You had to disobey sometimes to discover who you were. When you had to rebel, how did you do it? Secretly and occasionally, or openly and frequently? Let's say secretly and occasionally, because again, I'm more interested in our deception rather than our punch-a-majigging. So, you wouldn't bring shame to your household. You kept your disobediences modest and discreet. No one was any the wiser. That sounds pretty reasonable to me. And also, it means that we have a top hat somewhere in our past. That's always cool. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna kind of swing wide around to Magdalen's, and yeah. Until we either reach there or encounter something interesting, I will cut away, and I will see you all shortly. So until then, happy hunting. Oh, looks like we might be on the verge of something here. So, I mean, there's a little marker here, and to be honest, these things, to me, tend to be boundary markers indicating something or other. Also, there is some ominous red light here, so maybe we're approaching a sun, which honestly means we probably don't want to be going in this direction, but then again, who cares? Right? Maybe. Or possibly not. Well, there's some wreckage over here. Let's go check it out, see what's going on. I mean, there's a friendly right here. I mean, I think he's friendly anyway. Yo! Shipmate dude. Oh god, don't hit him. I mean, he's just kind of spinning in circles, so... Let's see. Barcelaire's Folly, you say? Alright, something went down here. There's a contankery. Cool, cool. A lot of, wreckage. Alright, yeah. What in the nine hells happened here? That is a good question, says I. And I do not have a very clear or distinct answer, to be honest with you. I mean, it looks like there's some rocks here, so if we had some mining equipment, we could probably do something with it. But alas, we do not have said mining equipment, so miners dug too deep into this worldlet, disturbing a disgruntlement of cantankery. Ah, I see. Hello there, friendo. Missed ya. Hit ya, and finished ya. Which was probably not very nice, honestly, but, you know. Yeah, we don't really need to can it. I mean, it would get us some supplies. And we don't really need to do this, so yeah, we'll just go for the successful experience. It's not much, but it's something. Does that look like something moving? Actually, yeah. There's stuff kind of jigglerizing here at the corners of our vision, which concerns me a little bit, as we are only wary. I mean, we've got plenty of supplies, so what is happening? Have we wandered too greedily and too deep? Did killing that cantankery have an effect on us that I have not yet come to fully appreciate and fear and be afraid of? Oh, it's gone away. Maybe it just had something to do with being too near the greedy miners. Anyway, yeah, let's circle around again, and we shall, you know, see what happens when we get back to Magdalen's. Alrighty then. Turns out there is, in fact, something of interest all the way up here. I mean, hopefully whatever it is, we can, you know, restock on supplies. Otherwise, we could be in a little spot of trouble, but then again, just about anything that we could explore probably has, you know, some means of purchasing provisions. Though I guess if we get really lucky, we might just find some ruins and wreckage out there somewhere that'll provide us with extra bits and bobs and bibbly bobblies. Alright, we're definitely approaching something, like a rock. There's a rock over there. That was a nice rock. This is also a nice rock. How quiet it is. And what's that smell? Eggs? Sulfur? Well, if it's sulfur, then that means that Satan's probably out here, and we do know that hell is a place that actually exists in the Sunless Sea universe, so we gotta be careful about that. The Stunted Grove. Alright, this is presumably that nature preserve we were told about. Ah, the Checkerboard Garden in Carillon. Alright, the Carillon Center. This peaceful Carmine institution was founded by devils from London and dedicated to the betterment of the soul. That sounds totally, like, definitely legitimate and not at all some kind of trick. Waffridge's A Tour of Heaven describes it as a cross between a spa, a sanatorium, and purgatory. She commends its bracing airs, gray stone, the color of a monastery, tending devils and devilisses dressed in uniform, and an incoming parade of the sick, the friendless, the dying, and those who think their lives would be better if only they were something else. This is Carillon, where souls are refined into something more impressive. Okay, let's start off with a port report. The penitents come from all corners of the high wilderness. Some will want to hear of their comings and goings. We take some notes on a pilgrim's journey through Carillon. The first port of call is the beehive-shaped office in the center, or more accurately, the long queue leading into it. From there, the infernal attendants direct them to one of Carillon's 7 gardens to undergo penances. They certainly look penitent by the time they emerge. Presumably, their souls are much improved. Not that you can tell. And your port reports, of course. Yes, we know all about that. And let's see here. Okay, we have a 100% chance of success of going to speak with the presiding deviless. She's an artisan of souls. Perhaps she can do something with yours. Perhaps she'll just offer you advice. And frankly, I think I will forge my own soul. Thank you very much. Led between the Wicker Works. The Winter Works are a totally different thing. The presiding deviless works in an office shaped like a beehive. A stone and wickerwork building that stands all alone in the middle of Carillon's central courtyard. She conducts intake interviews with new patients, one by one. After a long time in line, you reach her at last. Greetings, Captain. How may we stretch, strain, purify, and strengthen you, now that you've come to Carillon? I don't know, I'm sure I'm fine. Oh my, that is a lovely face you got there. All, you know, the snake eyes really add to it. They really sell it. And also that, like, just ever so faint upturning of the lips. So that you can't really tell if she's smiling or... yeah. Or maybe gleaming with malicious malice. That message brought to you by the Department of Redundancy Department. Anyway, her apron is starched, her dress pinstriped. Pinstripes are very fashionable. There is a stack of patient files on her desk, color-coded. The corners of her mouth say she knows something to your disadvantage. See, I told you something about those corners. Ask her about Carillon? Alright, she must be used to explaining to newcomers and to those whose memories are attenuated by pain. Ooh, if we had souls, we could, like, do stuff. Alrighty then. We do whatever is necessary to reclaim unsatisfactory souls, she says. She sits back in her chair, and you can imagine her making just such a pitch to the princes of hell. For humans, primarily, though we do attend to a few other creatures elsewhere on the great chain. They come to us with souls that are stained, disused, in every kind of sordid condition, and we make them acceptable again. Most of those who come to us are volunteers. The rest are beyond the position of being able to volunteer, consigned to Carillon by their families or employees. Kinda makes me wonder if I was here at one point, since as we recall, I was locked in a madhouse at one point. Alright. And after a stay at Carillon, what then? Most people go home again, says. Some find that they are weary of their souls and pass them on to us. Ooh, that's dangerous. You don't want to be wandering around without a soul. I mean, the soul is what makes you, you. Without it, you're just a meat sack, probably. We operate on that slender profit, and on what we can get from donations, or from sales of penance and forgiveness. She looks at the blank page before her. But what about you? You look sturdy enough to make full use of our services. Are you afraid of needles? What is your view of worms? Which do you fear more, venoms or poisons? Takes down a page or two on all your least favorite things. I would totally not tell demons what my least favorite things are. They totally use it against me later. Let's see. Listen. Ooh, she's got a proposal now. Oh, a deal with the devil, you may say. Alright. Listen, she says. You are free to make use of Carillon. Take a penance or two. After your soul. Or alter your soul. I think you'll find our services very imaginative. But there is another matter I hope you will look into. A devil in rose-colored gloves. He used to supervise the Gaslight Terrace. He was removed from that position, but I fear he may still not be entirely aligned with the objectives of Carillon. If you find out anything about him, anything to his disadvantage, she looks grim, bring me the evidence and I will reward you. Alright. Sounds reasonable. Buy indulgences. Why do I need indulgences? I don't really care. Provide exquisite insight. Such a dedicated user of Carillon, can you help her devise some new horrors for the minds of the unworthy? See. Okay. Penance. Alright, so if we get some fancy penances, then we can... some interesting stuff going on here. Interesting. Well, I'll see you later. Goodbye. Come back if you have any other questions, says the Deviless. She's already opened the next file on her desk. Well, we'll check that out later. Ooh, the Bell Garden. That sounds pretty cool. Here. Anyway, let's visit the terrace first. Flow of ordinary folk. Your companions are a lady in a buttoned cloak and a young male student. They talk among themselves about the seasonable warmth and about how the yellowish glow of the lamps does not show blue silk to best effect. Their words are commonplace, their hands folded and gloved, their opinions supplied by a respectable gazette. You have almost forgotten them, even while you are still walking together. The path descends by shallow steps to a broad terrace, as crowded as an imperial exhibition. Cool. Ooh, the spineless curate. Lampshades are scattered irregularly across a flagstone terrace. Between them are stations, each containing a patient receiving a treatment. Supervising devils tend these stations, stopping first here and then there, like bees at flowers. Ooh. Or gain an enlightenment's penance. Come back to that later, we're only at 56%. Ooh, cure a lightless soul. Interesting. I need penance, and I also need a lightless soul. But then again, no. My soul is not lightless, so I'm totally fine. Plus, I mean, our flaws make us who they are. Why would I want to get rid of my flaws, you know, through fancy voodoo mumbo jumbo when I could get rid of my flaws through hard work and sacrifice. And, you know, education and training and stuff. Working at it, basically. I've seen something in this light. It's hard not to see things. A devilish orderly jabs the curate with a needle. At the sight of the jab, the curate's skin goes lavender. I'm being treated for not believing in God. I've tried everything. Prayer, fasting, long weekends with a professional saint. None of it worked. My sermons were suffering. My bishop complained. That's an interesting statement. I mean, how can you not believe in God when, like, hell literally exists? Of course, then again, I suppose there could be a hell, but no heaven. Which, frankly, is kind of a disturbing thought, isn't it? Anyway, with that in mind, let's get back to what we were trying to say here. And has it helped? I have dreams of snakes and angels, he says. It hasn't made me a mystic. I don't think the devils are real either. Just men with funny eyes, aren't they? The devilish orderly smiles, with extra teeth. Yeah, that guy sounds a little, he's not all there. I think he's being willfully ignorant, really. Pay the curate's price. Interesting. Pay in an alternate currency. Well, we'll deal with that later. For now, no heads turn. You brush past a matron in gray boots, a train conductor in his uniform, and a young boy who has already adopted an expression of fixed ennui. Ennui, however I properly pronounce that. None of them notices you passing by. None shows any interest in your breaking this convention. Or in your breaking this convention. I feel like this is not really a place to get help, is it? Place to have your soul stripped bare of everything. Put your foot on the first step, and a devil blocks you. Those who enter the Bell Garden must be in a proper state of hygiene, Captain, he says. Wouldn't want to make things worse for the poor sufferers. He washes his hands in the fountain. Stopping you must have been grubby work. Oh. Oh, I'm not pure enough, huh? Alright. Okay, in that case, we will go to traverse the scramble to the checkerboard garden. But by the time you come out onto the plane of the checkerboard, your calves are hurting. Oh, not a long journey. Okay, cool, cool. In a shift of perspective. We're gonna have to get a lot more deceit if we're gonna succeed at any of this stuff. Ooh, we can encounter a rubbery man. The devils are playing tricolored chess with some of the penitents. White pieces, red pieces, pieces the color of a flourishing wind. Around the edges of the board sit the patients who have already been captured, or who were never part of the game to begin with. No one has dressed him for the chess game, or let him enter the board. He stands off to one side, tentacles squirming. Tentacles, you say? Rifing introductions. He is surprised that you approach him. He moves to make room for you, in case you are merely trying to occupy his space. When you speak to him, he offers you a squishy handshake. By various signals, gestures, and directions of his eyes, he indicates that he has come here looking for his place in the world. Interesting. Ask the rubbery man about the devil with the rose-colored gloves, and then hope you can understand the answer. That's also a good point. The rubbery man holds up one tentacle, representing the devil with the rose-colored gloves. Then he holds up another tentacle. After a moment, he twists the two together. Are the tentacles meant to be kissing? Is that what that is? Or possibly something a little bit more intimate? When you look blank, the rubbery man repeats the pantomime several times. Perhaps the devil has a lover. Perhaps the devil loves the rubbery man. Perhaps the devil enjoys exotic forms of dance. Well, that's, Ooh, elevation of a rubbery man. Interesting. Anyway, we'll go back now. White Queen is captured just as you go, but there's no time to look back at the match in progress. And there's also the Stunted Grove, Ritual of Purification. I mean, we've got a 56% chance to succeed. Follow the Mirror Shards. The path is a mirrored labyrinth. Entry is forbidden to those who are not already afflicted. Well, I do have a flickering soul, apparently, so sure, we'll check it out. No one else on the passage to the terrace will admit that they know where they're going. What a curious figure, says an old man, pointing in his own reflection. Here's hoping there aren't any other clowns of that nature where we're going, eh? He jabs you in the rib with his elbow. Fail till you see your reflection anywhere. Interesting. Regard your reflection with distaste. Admire your reflection, which is which is handsomer than usual. Why have you never noticed before the brilliant... Ooh, I don't want to go all, all narcissists on us. So... Or Narcissus. Let's say we fail to see our reflection. We're a vampire, probably. There are various figures who look familiar, but not a one of them is yourself. They're too tall, or too short, or too skinny, or too ill-dressed, or too foppish, or a bit too pleased with themselves. You've nothing in common with any of them. Interesting. Ooh, gain inescapable truth, you say. Ah, but we don't have a good chance of that. Stand in front of one of the statues, and it will melt into your pose. It will look you in the eye. Its face will be your face, minus a few marks of character. It will be transparent. And is slim, and there are circles under his eyes. He shows no energy at all. Ooh, bad for this guy. He lifts his eyes when you seat yourself. It takes time to get him to speak. He finds the effort of conversation very hard going. For the first few exchanges, he confines himself to the weather at Carolyn. But finally he tells you why he is here. Too many years I lived on the other side of a mirror, he says. So long that I forgot everything but that place and its ways. Where is and is not change places. I took a companion and endured his not love. It took me a long time to recognize it for what it was. Resting. Let's see. Cure flickering soul. We need penance, though. C. Well, I guess we can't cure our flawed soul yet. You know what? Let's try. Gain an inescapable truth penance. Well, that failed. A man in shabby dress sends thank you notes for every critical review in the Huffam Post. Until he overcomes these flaws, he has had a second skeleton implanted alongside the first. As for your punishment, it does not bear speaking of. For a month afterward, you see devils dancing in the corners of your eyes. Well, that sucks. Alright, back to Carolyn. There are a few others leaving Carolyn at the same time. A man in shabby dress walks beside you, looking rather depressed. Well, we'll check all this stuff out by the by, I suppose. But for now, let's go down to the bazaar, see what options are here. We've got some dude selling souls. Ah, and there's a guy selling seeds. Excellent. When we do need some seeds, do we not? So we shall buy those seeds and double check how many do we need. Exactly 3 seeds. We also need 5 hours. And right, 1 more munitions. Okay. Well, we got what we came for, at least, so that's kind of important. And we don't need souls right now. Here. Let's buy 1 of each. That should be enough to keep us going, and with that, we shall depart from this grim and gritty place. And, actually, wait, hang on a second here. What were we looking for specifically here with the flowers? This is Port Avon, alright, which is all the way on the other side of the world, down here, basically. So, let's do like a big, wide circle around. And I will cut away until we find something interesting, and then we'll wrap this episode up. So until then, let's get searching the great wide spaces of space. What edifice? Oh. Hold up. What edifice stood here in times past? None now know. The ruins of an ancient structure, once kissed by a long-dead sun. Ah, we need a saying in order to do anything with this. Alright, so we'll have to come back here later. We don't have the appropriate gear to truly appreciate whatever it is that we're looking at here. Though it does look rather ominous, doesn't it? I mean, what the heck is that? Can't be good, that's for sure. Alright, change of plans, lads. Looks like we have found something else of interest again. Also, we're getting a little low on supplies, so maybe I should have bought a little bit more than I did, but I'm sure we'll be fine, probably, maybe. Hopefully. I'm reasonably confident of that. So, I mean, yeah, it's not that far off, so... No, I will cut away until we find what it is we're looking for. Oh, hello. But is this? Okilly-dokily? Oh, please tell me that's not a bad guy. What is this? I'm not getting any anything of particular note, but it is something. Anyway, I will again cut back until we find. Oh dear. So we find something of particular note. Ah, snow-laden peaks rise from the mists, and dwarfing them all, the impossible immensity of the Mother of Mountains. Oh, I do hope there's actually, like, a port here for us to land in. That would be awkward otherwise. But dang, this thing... It goes deep, doesn't it? Real deep. It's, Oh, Lustrum! We were looking for this place, as it happens. Alright, let's start off by going to the bazaar. Aha! Monetary munitions. Explosives for Lustrum. Well, we can at least sell these to start off with. Oh, look at that. We could actually buy some armaments right here. Oh, there's even a guy here. Unlocked? Ah, because we have villainy. Alright, well, let's start off by selling what we've got here. That's a pretty hefty penny right there, I do say. Alright. Then we shall resume. Alright. Oh, and look at that. We can buy a nice cheap armament right there. That's kind of convenient, isn't it? They need the armaments. We bought them. Sweet Jane takes the munitions themselves, hauling the crates into the back room with surprising speed. She refuses to be drawn on why she needs them, but she does throw in a significant bonus when the subject comes up. Alright, a little bit extra cash. We gained some extra reputation. Ah, we lost some with the Windward. We're tolerated. And the Tacadies are curious with us. Interesting. Alright, cool. Oh, and Bronzewood. Do we need Bronzewood for anything right now? The answer is still no. That's okay. Let's, let's, 3 seems like that would be enough to get us to wherever it is we need to get to. And I suppose with that in mind, we'll pull out a dock. And maybe do like a quick circle around the mountain here. That's where we're going to wrap things up for now. So next time we'll explore Lustrum. And then make our way down to Port Avon and try to just continue with our various pressing adventures and such. But for now, as always, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that like button or maybe leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking and I will see all you in the next video.